Hello, guys. My name is Ahmed Ali for the Unscripted Talks here in Dub Radio. Finally, the CS nominees for various ministries has been named. The list of nominees is already out, and that is what I want to take you through because we really want to be timely with this. And as usual, as I always tell you in politics, they are never permanent enemies, they are never permanent friends. They all work to make sure that their interest is well taken care of. Now, first, we have Musalia Mudavadi as the Prime CS and Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. We have Kithure Kindiki, Interior and National Administration. Remember, Kindiki was also in the last cabinet as still the Minister for Interior and National Administration. We have Soipan Tuya, who was earlier on being presented for Ministry of Environment, but later on was switched to defense yesterday during that motion that was being moved in Parliament. Julius Migosi for education, Salim Mvuria for trade, investment, and industrialization. We have Davis Chirchir for transport, Alice Wahome for lands, Aden Duale for environment, Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza for health. We also have Eric Mureithi for water, Dr. Margaret Ndungu for ICT. We have Andrew Karanja for agriculture. We have Kipchumba Murkomen for youth affairs, sports and arts. We have Stella Soy Lagat for gender. We have Opio Wandai, who is the current member of parliament for Ugunja constituency, that is in Siaya County. So Opio Wandai, energy and petroleum. Hassan Ali Joho for mining, blue economy and maritime affairs. We have Rebecca Miano for the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Heritage. We also have John Mbadi for National Treasury and Planning. We also have Alfred Mutua, Labor and Social Protection. We have Wycliffe Oparanya for Cooperative Development. Now, I would like to know, first of all, what's your take on this list? Do you feel it holds the national phase as the president did promise? Now, again, do you feel like the opposition has hijacked the efforts of the Gen Zs and millennials protesting against rejecting the finance bill, protesting to ensure that accountability and most competent leaders are put on a specific post of leadership in the country? What do you feel? Now, I'll still go back to my previous statement whereby I said they are never permanent enemies in politics. And in my previous videos, remember when I told you the political elite are joining hands because they have seen a generation that is a very big threat to their existence. Now, when I said that Raila was a betrayer, it is clearly seen now because whatever negotiations they went to make behind the curtain, we don't have detail, but there is more than meets the eye. When you look at that specific list, there are more than meets the eye. You understand what I see? We have people who have been named by gross misconduct in terms of engaging in scandals that are immeasurable still in that list. Like, my question is always, do we have deficiency in persons who are competent? And is it a must that only politicians should be given such roles of cabinet secretaries? Is it specifically reserved for politicians who are loyal to their parties? That is why even last time I've been telling you that we need to shun away party politics. We need to do away with party politics. Now it is clear that the political elite doesn't care so much about you, Mwananchi. Today, the media is on the streets protesting for them to be given the right of the freedom to have impartial reporting against brutality. But remember, it is the same media that the other day was not giving live coverage of the true events of the Mandamano that was happening, yet they call themselves impartial. Now, why am I bringing in this? I'm trying to answer those people who might be looking at the channel saying dub radio and thinking that we are leaning towards a specific direction. Of course, we are leaning towards a specific direction, and the direction that we are leaning on is the direction of the Mwananchi, because we don't want to be seen as supporting a regime that has consistently muzzled their polity, a regime that has consistently brought laws and played shenanigans at the expense of the development of its citizens, a regime that has been committed to making sure atrocities committed towards their citizens do not meet justice. My question is, has all that the Gen Zs and millennials been fighting for gone in vain? That is my question. Because as it is, this is a redefinition of the Nusumkate government or handshake government. You understand? As much as it might be given names to, oil it and rub it around to sugarcoat, like a cabinet of national unity. I am yet to see how the committee that will be interviewing these nominees will handle itself. Because as it is, it seems like it's rubber stamped, it's done. Now, what next for the Gen Zs and the millennials? Don't depend on a politician to fight or advocate for your rights. A politician will only join you if he deems it right and he sees that what you are fighting for will also benefit him or her. If not, it's your own fight. This is a clear picture. Today, each and every Kenyan, walk unto the mirror, look keenly unto yourself, ask yourself, what do I really want for this country? And ask yourself, has the regime been able to offer that? Look at this list. Take yourself towards self assessment and ask yourself, how much have you contributed towards the growth or towards the fall of this nation? I know there are those who are sycophants who will go around celebrating, saying, oh wow, they promised, they delivered. Who said the national unity government must only compose of politicians? Who said so? As far as I'm concerned, I remember the demands of the Gen Zs. If the president you are to listen, it was about taking people who are qualified in specific field. For instance, If we were to put somebody in the ICT docket, that should be someone who is well conversant with the world of ICT. If we were to put somebody in mining, blue economy, and maritime affairs, that should be someone who has knowledge and has studied actually issues to do with mining and blue economy and maritime affairs. If we talk about tourism, wildlife, and heritage, this should be a person who has expertise in that specific field. If we talk about national treasury and planning, we should have somebody who has literacy in finance, labor and social protection, corporate development, energy and petroleum. How many of these people have been put rightfully in those positions because they deserve, but not because of some roundtable talks? Let us be honest with each other. How many of these people have been put in that list or have been nominated in that list because of their competence, because they hold expertise in that specific ministry that they have been nominated for? Comment, let me know what you think, because as far as I'm concerned right now, my take will only be one. Mwananchi, you have yourself to fight for. Whenever the government and the opposition are on one bed, we saw it during the Uhuru regime, the handshake era. People were oppressed, but who would dare cough? No one. Because the person who was been given the mandate of making sure that they put the government in check and balance was already dining with the oppressor. Today, it is the same thing. History has recurred. History has repeated itself. Another handshake has been done in terms of, having some members of the opposition nominated into the cabinet. That is what we've been shown. What other agreements don't we know that has been done behind the curtains? We know there will be tenders being given to companies owned by a certain member of the opposition. We know. Yet we cry that there is no enough income in Kenya to even service development, to an extent that we have to depend on loans. Don't be surprised that those loans will be acquired and be shared equally. And there's nothing you could do. Citizens, it's time. It's time. And this is the right time to make your voices heard. Because if this list is anything to go by, there is nothing much that you should expect in terms of development. That is my analysis. I don't know what you think. I don't know what's your take. Kindly comment and tell me what's your thought. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dub Radio Now. If you love content of this nature, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you press the notification button so anytime that we are live, you'll be the very first person to be notified. On our Facebook page, Dub Radio, kindly follow us, view, like, comment, and share. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.